So this picture of Chris Brown and this young lady is going viral right now. And I couldn't understand why, because to me it looks like just a regular photograph of just a meet and greet photograph that women often have with Chris Brown. I think the cost of the meet and greet, you have to pay him $1,250, I believe, to take a picture with him, and you can pose any kind of way you want, and that will be your picture with Chris Brown. But the picture is paid for. I didn't understand why this picture went viral until I went into the comment section. Once I saw the comments on under any platform, whatever platform this picture is, all the comment sections are pretty much saying the same thing. It's a bunch of women who are unambiguous and dark skinned saying things like, well, it's about time he chose a dark skinned girl. Finally, he's with a dark skinned girl. He looks better with a dark skinned girl, things like that. And it almost comes off as if a lot of unambiguous dark skinned black women feel like they have an entitlement, or like they're entitled to access to Chris Brown over all the other women. They make it seem as if because Chris Brown is black, they make it seem as though he did some kind of like he's some kind of traitor to his culture by dating women his own complexion or lighter, or mixed race women, or women who are not black at all. And I don't know if a lot of them realize, or if they forgotten, that Chris Brown himself is multi-generationally mixed, light-skinned man. And I don't understand what the huge deal about it. I mean, he's been called a colorist before because of something about he doesn't want light-skinned women, or dark-skinned women. He doesn't date dark-skinned women, or he doesn't want them in his circle or something like that. But I just find it ironic, that a lot of darker skinned women feel as though he did some kind of, like he's in violation by not choosing them. When a lot of times unambiguous dark skinned black women often say that they don't like light skinned men. They curb light skinned men every chance they get, and they tell you to your face. They tell them to their faces, you're too light skinned. I don't do light skins. And you even have a lot of unambiguous dark skinned black women who will say, I would date a white man before I date a light skinned man. So what would it benefit Chris Brown to bark up the wrong tree and try to date women who are obviously not attracted to him? He is already an MLS man. He is a multi-generationally mixed light-skinned man. I'm quite sure he has been told that by unambiguous dark-skinned black women before. So instead of him crying over spilled milk and just trying to approach women who don't want him anyway, he just goes after his own shade or lighter skinned women. But it's crazy because a light-skinned man or a light-skinned woman, if they choose to date someone of their own complexion, or someone who is their own who identifies as mixed as they do, like a mixed or light-skinned man who wants a mixed or light-skinned woman, if that is their personal preference, they can't openly say that. They have to say things like, well, I'm not attracted, or there's no connection, or I'm not really, you're not really my type. They have to be nice and tactful about it. But dark-skinned people can just come up to a light-skinned person and say, I don't date light skins. I don't like you, too light. I don't do light skins. And it's gotten to the point where even other light-skinned women are saying that. I feel like people who are darker skinned have this privilege where they can take an historical occurrence and try to apply that to 2025 and win over or convince the masses that this is some kind of colorism issue, or some kind of ism, racism or otherwise, some kind of ism that Chris Brown is guilty of because he prefers to date his own skin tone, when it is not the same for a dark-skinned person to say that they prefer darker-skinned men, or I prefer darker-skinned women. You're too light-skinned, I don't date light skins. How is it not the same? I'm just so tired of that double standard. I think that it's perfectly fine for a light-skinned person and a light-skinned man and woman to date each other. Like, nobody is paper bag testing you in 2025. So how is it a ism for Chris Brown or any other light-skinned man to date his own women or date women his own phenotype? I think this picture went viral because it represents a light-skinned man like Chris Brown, who is rich and powerful, handsome, has a beautiful singing voice. He's very talented. He talented in every kind of way. He can rap, he can sing, he can dance, and he's very, very rich. And the photograph is showing him kind of fawning all over this young lady. She's very beautiful, by the way. He's fawning all over her, and she's just kind of sitting there taking it all in, and it's a very cute picture. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they were a couple, there would be a nice couple. It would be a nice looking couple. But it went viral. I just want to respond to like a lot of things that they were saying in the comment section, as if like they want to shame him because he doesn't date women who are darker than him. Not typically. All of his kids are by women who are mixed or women who are light skinned, and his dating history are with lighter skinned women, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's light skinned himself, so I don't see a problem with that. Me personally, I have been called colorist or a racist or anti-black or I don't like black people or something like that because of my stance on this. I don't like the double standards, and that's what I'm calling out. How am I a colorist or a racist when I'm black too? I am FBA, light-skinned, monoracial black woman. How am I being anti-black if I'm black myself? I just don't like the hypocrisy and the double standards. Like, racial manipulation does not work on me. You can call me a colorist, racist, texturist, featurist, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to call you out if I think you're wrong. And this is why I believe the spaces, the exotical spaces are needed, because for once people are starting to hear our voices and allowing us to speak for ourselves instead of allowing unambiguous dark-skinned black people spread propaganda and tell you what kind of people we are. We get to speak for ourselves and tell you what kind of people we are. We tell you where we're coming from. And I'm glad that people are listening to us and really taking into consideration our counter arguments when black people, Blackistanians typically come up with these theories and try to shame light-skinned people for doing the same things they do. And I really think that this speaks to the differences in the way MLS men are treated versus how MLS women are treated. When an MLS woman like Tyla, for instance, or Ice Spice or Beyonce come and tell you what their identity is, then people get mad, people get upset. They want you to just say, I'm black and that's it. And there's no two ways about it. Forget all the other mixtures. And that's a very old school way of thinking. Tyla is a South African colored woman, and over here in the States, she will be considered mixed. Same thing with Ice Spice. She's Dominican. That's her culture. Nigerian, I think she said too, but that would be her culture. That's her mixture. Same thing for Beyonce. But Black Americans don't really want the artists to say, a lot of Blackistanians typically, because there's a difference. There's a black community and then there's Blackistanian. Blackistanians want you to say you're just black, period. And there's no ifs, ands about it. Don't say you're Creole, don't say you're mixed, don't say you're biracial, just say you're black. Only we reserve the right to tell you what you are when we get upset with you later on. Your accomplishments are supposed to uplift the black race until we get sick of looking at your ass or you piss us off, and then we can go ahead and call you out for being multi-generationally mixed or biracial or Creole, and then attach some kind of stigma to you and say, well, all those Creoles are stuck up anyway, and all those mixed people and biracials, they think they're better. They're just trying to come over here and profit off the black community. But now you have Chris Brown, who is multi-generationally mixed and unapologetically so, getting women who are unambiguous and dark skinned, paying him $1,200 to take a picture with him, just to get close to him, coming to all of his concerts, and nothing is being, like, nobody's saying anything. Yeah, they holler, oh, he's a colorist because he won't date women that look like me. That has not translated into profits. You're still gonna fawn all over him. You're still gonna fantasize and dream about being with him. You're still going to pay him for pictures. You're still gonna go to his concerts and make his pockets fat. So all the colorism allegations mean nothing when you're still coming to his concerts and fawning all over him. He's still getting rich regardless. He's always going to have a bigger bank account than you are. And that's just the bottom line. And it's just, at the end of the day, if you're still going to do this, go to his concerts and support him financially, then the colorism conversation really doesn't carry much weight, or it doesn't mean that much to you. It doesn't offend you as much as it would any other time. Like colorism, the colorism outrage only applies depending on what artist it is. If it's MLS Women, then yeah, hell yeah, she's a colorist. She's a colorist bitch. She's a stuck-up bitch. But when it's Chris Brown, oh, well, it's, either he's a colorist, but I'm going to still go to his concerts. I'm still going to pay to see him, and I love him regardless. Like, make that shit make sense. So if you're going to be selective about it, then there clearly is something else you have against MLS Women other than quote unquote being stuck up or colorist or whatever, because Chris Brown is very arrogant, and rightfully so. He's very talented. He has that swag, and he has everything that a lot of women dream about. So yeah, that's my commentary though on this photograph. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.